Islam Morris, my brother P. Miles Hill. Temple number 13, Moorish Science Temple of America. Excuse me, I was just sitting here doing me a little quick meditation of the subject matter, making sure I was, so y'all got really like an inside look at what's going on. So praises to Allah. As we all know, I give rise and praise to Allah, the Father of the universe. And I give honors to his prophets. Noble Drew Ali. Let me go to my YouTube page on this other computer to see how we looking here. And we're gonna get into some knowledge here in just a moment. Let's see. All right, so we finna get into it. I just wanted to check some things. So it's the Moorish New Year's today. Today is Moorish New Year's Day, not New Year's Eve. That was yesterday, but it's New Year's Day. The chapter, I'm gonna deal with the chapter. It was really one chapter that was on my mind, was the end of the priesthood, and the dawn of a new era dealing with Prophet Jesus. And then another one, and that's entitled Jesus Attends a Feast in Bahar, and here he taught human equality. So we're gonna get into it. And it's another one. I'm setting up the Facebook thing. Yeah, I'm trying to get it to where so sorry about that. I had to get it going here. So let's see if I can bring this up to a full screen. Okay, Islam. All praises to Allah. and honors to his prophets, his holy and divine prophets, Islam, Muslims. Happy New Year's. Happy Moorish New Year's. Today is Moorish New Year's Day, January 15th, 2021 AD. And we also want to say happy birthday to Martin Luther King. We truly appreciate. And this is a very special day. It's a very special month. How y'all doing this morning? This great grand rise, the great grand rise. I remember a few years ago, my campaign was all about, what do you mean good morning, right? How are you good about morning? People killing you and killing yourself and all of that. So for my scientists and masterminds all over the world, let me make that correction for the record. Great grand rise, everybody. Islam, happy holy day. And Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all around the world. Friday is the day when man was formed in flesh. And on Friday, man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father, God Allah. For that cause Friday to be the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. And make no mistake about it, we are the founders and the true possessors of the holy city of Mecca and the Moroccan Empire, which is encompassed in the Moroccan Empire. But today, it's about the message. And the message, all of us a message. But the focus is, as I said in the title, today's message is founded on two terms: human equality, according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And it makes sense. I was watching the Attorney General from New York bring charges against the city of New York, the state of New York, and the mayor's office and the police department for years of abuse and illegal, unconstitutional practice against human beings. These New Yorkers, human beings, Muslims, and those that call themselves Black, Negro, and colored, which we know are Moors. And this was done in 1779, where the slave holders gave the slaves, the ones who were enslaved, these brands that are called Black folks, Negroes, colored folks, and Ethiopians. These names or titles allude to slavery. So we know that this was done like they did Kunta Kinte. This was done by way of force. This was a branding device or a technique to brand their property. So remember, all your property is registered where? In your name. What is your name? In reference to your family's name, your surname. So that's what the focus has always have been, your family's name, where all your property is registered at. All of the estates is placed in trust, and the trust is the names formed by your forefathers. This is why it's so important to proclaim your nationality. And I wanted to make sure I catch a shot. Because this is our family's brand. Our CEO for Rise of Grind is Keyshawn Shamlison Bay. Now, he's a graduate. I know I'm kind of screwing off, so let me stay focused on the first part. We'll get to this part of our sponsors and our partners. But like I was saying, so this part is what's been hidden or not available, was not available at the point in time to the general public. And so the same way they did with Kunta, the same way that it was presented in the movies with Kunta, that strategy and that style and that policy to make sure you couldn't read, write, didn't know history, didn't know none of that, but what was presented to you. And then transfer, the conversion process. If I'm able to change your identity and you accept, I'm able to remove your history. I'm able to remove your inheritance. I'm able to remove all the securities that was afforded to you. And so this is why the prophet instantly reconnected us to our descent. The Moorish Americans are descendants, right? Whether you say Moroccan or Moabites, are descendants of the ancient Moabites, because we know Moroccan is a modern term for ancient Moabites, for Moabites. It's a modern term. And so the prophet came to take Kunta, who was converted over to Toby by way of force, and to convert that back over, because you're not Toby. That was done because of this what happened. And so we had to restore that. And so that prophet was Noble Drew Ali, the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America, the Moorish Divine and National Movement of the world, to restore our birthrights, our ancient claim. And without us, there's no divine title of government, meaning if you go into the United States government in its origin, in its founding, Obama tell you this, the historic Obama speech that was done in 2011 over in Cairo, Egypt. And you can check it out, you can Google it. But he gave these same truths about America's founding, about the US government's founding, and what was it founded on? Where did it come from? What is its birthplace? And so the history is removed, but yet Obama brought it to us. But the prophet brought it to us. What prophet? Noble Drew Ali, born January 8th, 1886, and ascended unto his father God Allah in the year 1929. And so he brought us this. And so January 8th is his birthday, and 7 days later we have a new year. And this absolutely is a new year. It absolutely is a new era. Because at this point in time, in 1913, our people didn't have the education. They only had what they knew in slavery. So what they had from slavery was what they had to work with to build upon, right? So not to blame them and antagonize our people, but we have to remember that the education was removed from the general venue, from the public venue. So it wasn't no Google, it wasn't no, search engines, no computers and technologies developed that the public had access to. The general public, especially those who were the ones that was coming out of the alleged enslavement of our people. So they didn't have access to the technology. So when you talk about how we debased ourselves, if I can't read or write, right, if I'm not taught these principles of how to navigate on this planet Earth, then obviously I get lost. So a lot of people say I was lost and then I was found. No, you were just misinformed and or miseducated, either done on purpose or done by mistake. But either way, it happened, and it's to be held accountable. And so the chapter that I'm focused on that touched my spirit was chapter 9. It's chapter 9, and it's titled "Jesus Attends a Feast in Bahar," and here he taught human equality. So this comes out of our Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Circle 7, divinely prepared by the prophet to redeem man and raise us back to the highest plane of spirit life. Imagine, prophet founded this movement in 1913 for the upliftment of fallen humanity. The Emancipation Proclamation, the 13th Amendment, was 1865, somewhere up in there, in the 1860 period, maybe 63, 65, 68, up in that time period. And so prophet being born 1886, establishing a movement at North America 1913. So you look at, that's not too far away from slavery. So they didn't have, I'm pointing out that our people was not privy to this information, or since it came from the prophet, and the prophet was sent to this earth by Allah to redeem man. So this knowledge, this right knowledge came from on high. So this affirmation for my affirmation brothers, this is affirmation. And for my Muslims, this is understanding and enlightenment. And for me, it's a great understanding. So my spirit, the energies is driven me towards this chapter. This is what's in my mind. And I think it's a a relevant one, because look at what's going on. Islam, lead Muhammad Bey too. I'm still learning how to, Islam, Dallas Brooks Bay, Islam Muslims, forgive me if I don't address you as I'm navigating through multiple devices and trying to, and focused on in my presentation. But however, it's not about me, it's about us, Islam Muslims. I appreciate y'all. All praises and glory be to the Most High Allah, Father of the universe. Islam, I self-love and master. I self-love and master. So back to the presentation. So the title is Jesus Attends a Feast in Bahar, and here he taught human equality. So that's very important to me in this time, day, and era when we talk about human equality. Okay, we talk about human equality. So let's make sure I capture best of my ability. We talk about human equality, and when I seen the New York sister come out yesterday, the district attorney, and it was all about human equality. It's all about human equality. All men are equal. We hold this truth to be self-evident, that all men are created free and equal and endowed with certain rights by their creator. Not my creator, but their creator. Whoever you see and whatever you practice him, that is passed down to you from your ancient ancestors' practices. And we ain't gonna go that deep, but we hold these truths to be self-evident, meaning common sense, that all men are created free and equal. So when we're talking about the prophet and we go into, and Jesus means justice, just so for the record. So keep that in mind, that Jesus, Justitinus, means justice in Latin. So Jesus attends a feast in Bahar, and here he taught human equality. And so this is the death of the priesthood as well. I wanted to make sure I put that out. And so you're like, what do you mean the death of the priesthood? Like, there's no need for it. They cut out the middleman because there was an attack on the people, on the common people, by the priesthood during this time that Jesus had to deal with. He said, why did Allah send Jesus to this earth, Muslims? To save the Israelites from the iron hand oppression, right? From the pale-skinned nations of Europe, who was ruling a portion of Palestine at that time, right? Why did Allah send Jesus to this earth? And also keep in mind where they coming from. They were sent here. Where they come from? So we know they came from Ohio, but I just want us to stay in reality. I don't want us to fall out. And now they shooting up rockets. They building buildings on the moon. They on Mars. They digging. They found 4,000 different planets in X amount of many solar systems right next door to our solar system. But now the information is coming out. So, and they talk about Earth, light, planets with water, air, trees, etc. People. Now this stuff is being released. So I don't want us to be not into reality. Okay, like we haven't been on the moon before. And I know I'm going off a little bit, but think about it. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. So they identified two different understandings there. Man has always been on the moon. Man has been everywhere on the planet, the galaxy. That's a fact. They know this stuff. They're choosing when to release the information. That's all that's about. As society continues to mature to a degree where we're able to release this information to the public, we're able to bring the public into the fold of government, raise their consciousness up, affirm their beliefs. Because we've been left with belief. Majority of people is only educated to the science of belief, not to the science of fruition. Because belief doesn't exist in fruition. Faith doesn't exist in fruition. All of it's lost when you're dealing with fruition. Fruition is man must be what he knows. And man is true. And truth is Allah. And Allah and man are one. And man debased himself to gratify his lower self. And when we say that, that means man cut himself off from himself, from his higher self. And I don't know, I set this phone up to where I can block some of the activity. But man debased himself, meaning man quit studying, knowing himself, sticking to the rules, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. What does that mean? Okay, for example, I know that me and Mother Nature, a plant-based diet, plants and I have a compatibleness. We are compatible. It's compatible to my genetic code, my DNA, my structure, how I'm developed and exist, this body. And so if I ignore those facts and go and start consuming processed foods or foods, poisons that's called food or labeled as food, but we know food are plants that come from Mother Nature that God and everybody else had something to do with, right? So if I ignore that truth and go for the stuff that's not real and not compatible because it tastes sweet, because they spraying chemicals on it to make it trick your taste buds, which are little mini glands that communicate with the mainframe. So everything in your nervous system is sending the signal back to the mainframe. The signal is sending it back to the different departments to operate. The Constitution of man. It's like the United States, but it's within, right? You the president. You're the conductor. You're the CEO. You control all the departments. It's up to you to appropriate the funds, the budgets, to construct all of these things necessary to run a government, which is self-governing, the ability to self-govern, to make informed decisions for the upliftment of self. Can you imagine you keep eating all these burritos, you keep eating all this cheese, you keep eating all this poison, and after you know, you're in the bathroom and blood shooting out. You got all kind of stuff shooting out and popping out and tearing the stuff up, and you got all kind of overweightness and toxins on the body, putting harder pressure on the heart, and you stressing. So now the digestive system got to work 12 times, 1,000 times harder to process stuff that's not real and not compatible with the body. So man debased himself to gratify his lower self. Oh, it tastes good. I like this. Oh, you think it tastes good. It's an illusion. And the truth of the matter is, it's tearing God up on the inside. Yeah. And so now let's just say you pass forms and let's just say you go and meet the high elders, the high council, and they say, well, why would you destroy your body? Why would you commit suicide? Why would you commit self-genocide? Well, I didn't know. Well, they sent you Brother L. They sent you Dr. Zeddy. They sent you the prophet. They sent you Jesus. They sent you all these messengers to give you a message from on high so you can know who you are, where you come from, your divine creed, your divine origin, right? So you can know the practices, the systems of your ancient ancestors before this so-called enslavement period that we all participated in. Yes, we all have to tell the truth on how we got to this point. I was just talking to my grandmother and my family this morning as we spoke in the dawn before the sun appeared to be rising. We rose. The sun people. And I was explaining to her, in my development, in my adolescence, I was always taught to, when you do wrong, you take it like a man, right? You admit to it, you look in the eye and say, you know what, I was wrong. And you make speedy reparations. You amend your behavior and your thought process expeditiously. But the healing process does not start. The correction of the error cannot take place. The activation of upliftment cannot take place without the acceptance of the individual responsibility to be held accountable for his or her actions. Not to say the devil did it, right? No, you did it. My man must know himself, the higher self and the lower self, right? And so we can cut out the devil, and we can cut out the priesthood, we can cut out the rabbis, we can cut out the so-called ministers, we can cut out all these people out of our relationship with God, out of our relationship with the Most High, out of our relationship with Allah, right? And Allah is a feminine word. It's in reference to mother. I just want to, share that communications with you. Amen. because it's on us to protect mother, which is the matriarch. Amen. Okay, do you agree? All right, because without her, how do I get my crown? Who crowned me? How am I Moorish American and my mother's not Moorish American? Because the estate passes through the womb, but this is not this episode. Okay, so don't get tricked because you exist in the so-called patriarchal condition of the mind. Remember, original government, the organic, the de jure is mother, matriarchal. These are facts. Where you come from? What are these? These are inactive glands. You have a navel. So this trinity is letting you know that you came from mother through the great union between mother and father. That's Allah. That's Allah. Family. We are the children of one father. We are the children of one father, provided for by his care. And the breast of one mother have given ye suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee in thy father's house. And when ye separate in the world, remember the relations that bindeth you to love and unity. And if thy brother's in adversity, assist him. And if thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortress contribute to his whole race. This is what we call the Asiatic covenant, which is a modern name for Muslims. This is the holy covenant of the Asiatic nations, right? And so we have an obligation to each other and our love to each other in our Father's house. Allah, the Father of the universe. So space is nothing new to us. See people land on Mars and these other guys, it's not new to us. Allah, the Father of the universe. A mastermind can trace himself back, right? And so we got to be diligent in our studies of self, in our discovery of self. We got to love ourselves to a degree where you're going to create time to learn more about yourself. They say, I ain't got the time. I got to go to work. I got to sit on the block. I got to help. Listen. All of it's a distraction. We got to end that. We got to end that practice, that unproductive, counterproductive practice that have only created a deeper ditch for us. We got a point where, we're dealing with a pandemic, a so-called pandemic. But in reality, the Muslims been dealing, the Moorish Americans, that's erroneously labeled Black, Negro, and colored, because we know in the Middle Ages, the Moors, to discriminate, their names was changed. Their national identity was hidden, concealed, and changed to Negro. And all you do is go into the etymology online dictionary or any etymology dictionary and bam. And so it looks like on one of the computers, sorry, we're having trouble playing this video. I guess, like I say, I'm working on, I bet they is having trouble playing this video, Muslims. So just bear with me 1 second. Don't lose your focus. Let me bring this back up on this other line. And so I gotta thank y'all for being peaceful and bearing with me. Somehow they shot my connection down. So let's bring it back up. Let's bring it back up. Okay. Let's bring it back up. Okay, we brought it back up. We on. And so it is so much in I don't know how we lost connection on that last feed, but we did. I don't know if maybe some truths blew up the speakers. I don't know. Who knows? But we lost connection on the last one. So we go right into part two. And that was just basically an opening and introduction. And I'm kind of mad we didn't even get a chance to do our sponsors. So before I do my reading, dealing with Jesus attends a feast in Bahar, and here he taught human equality. I'm gonna take this opportunity while I can to say thank you to our fans and to our supporters and to our sponsors. I guess that's all the same thing. But thank you to the investors, the supporters, the fans. Thank you. Thank you. Honors to you. We love you. Without you, we don't exist. If you guys love what we're doing, uplifting our people, hey, listen, donate. Go to our website, learn how you can support, learn how you can donate at msta13gov.com. That's MSTA.gov, Islam, MSTA13gov.com. So go on there, click the donate button, send us $1, 50 cents, whatever you got out of your heart. We truly appreciate it because it takes finances to uplift a nation. And one thing being pretty much the youngest Grand Sheikh in the Moorish movement around the world, is that, your ambition. I have a lot of ambition. I have a lot of a drive. I have a driving force that's constantly keeping me going. That rise and grind, that rise and grind. And sometimes that ambition can move a little faster than your finances can allow you to. And sometimes we find ourselves in a rabbit hole with the intent to do something positive. However, we must rely on the brotherhood of the world, the sisterhood of the world, to support this Moorish Divine and National movement. If you feel your conditions can be better, join the Moorish Science Temple of America. If you feel that what we're doing is a positive and it's a necessary, then hey, donate to the Moorish Science Temple of America, Temple number 13 here at Pontiac, Oakland County, Michigan. And here are other ways that you can support us. And also before I go into the sponsors here, our cash app is $MSTA13, $MSTA13. So if you support us, you love what we're doing, you want to see this grow into the vision that I prior described in many other of my presentations, the Space Force program. We have a Space Force Drew Ali Space Force Administration that was launched on January 8th, 2021. We have the Moorish Space Force Academy. We have the Oakland Youth, We have the Oakland Youth Development Coalition that allows us to work. It's a venue set up to work with other organizations to help our youth, not only within our community and the greater community. So it's called Oakland Youth Development Coalition. So you can go on our website, learn more about that, and donate to that cause. Donate $1. We appreciate you. So it's a lot of different things going on. So let me take this opportunity to go ahead and highlight our sponsors. So we want to talk about Rise and Grind Custom Clothing. So Rise and Grind Custom Clothing is headed by Keyshawn Bey. He is a former Pontiac student at ITA, National Honor Society, graduated at the top of his class, now taking up some classes into the robotics field, out working, being industrious, and also runs his own business. He's not even 20 years old. Guy's an ex-varsity basketball player, is a native of Pontiac. He's Moorish American. He's out there doing all the right things. In the midst of all the wrong things, he has to coexist with his peers, and he's been able to exhibit great strength amongst adversity and facing peer pressure. Keyshawn Shamlison Bey, his father and mother is Hassan Shamlison Bey and Levita Shamlison Bey. They also have Pretty Plug, which is another family brand. Pretty Plug, it's a female's edition, and that's was featured behind Keyshawn's younger sister, Desiree Shamlison Bey. So you got Rise and Grind Custom Clothing. You can purchase, you can order, or you can have your designs, your clothing custom made, custom designs, and it's accompanied by their parent company, which is Dreadhead Custom Clothing. So this family here is a solid family business economy setup where you can get the exclusive custom designs anytime that you feel like. Their website, write this down or type this in. Their website is risegrindcustomclothing.com. That's risegrindcustomclothing.com. The CEO is Keyshawn Shamasabe. I'm so proud of this young man, and I'm sure that you are too. Knowing that our young men keep dying out here on these streets for senseless things, this young man has been a true example of a model citizen, productive Muslim. So if you guys can, please support this young man, not even 20 years old. And you can support him at Rise Grind Custom Clothing. Okay, Rise Grind Custom Clothing. And you can go to our site at msta13gov.com. Go to our Divine Ministry of Economic Development and Market Research. It's right on there. You go right in there. You can find out all the industrious acts of the Muslims at Temple number 13. And when you click on there, you'll be able to go right to their website, order whatever you like, contact, communicate, leave a review, share, to support this young man and his family, this Pontiac Moorish family. Moorish Lives Matter. I'm gonna just throw that out there too. Our next sponsor that we want to give highlights to and show our appreciation and honors, trapmarketplace.com. That's trapmarketplace.com. Online tech store. The CEO and owner is Thunder Miles Zeal, another high-ranking member of our community, our top chief economic advisor. He's launched this online e-commerce tech store, trapmarketplace.com. I like to think that it gave us an entry into the technological industry, having our own tech store here at the Moorish Science Temple of America. So go on there and support Brother T. Miles Zeal, who's not only a member of our community, but a member of the greater community, the Pontiac, city of Pontiac, Pontiac native. This guy it's been a service to the country, and it's been a true model of how to re-enter society by coming out, setting up an awesome ecosystem to allow itself to grow, his family to grow and develop behind that. So let's support the brother here at trapmarketplace.com by simply going online and taking a look, clicking the link, and seeing how you can support. You might find something you like. I'm pretty sure 99.9% that you will find something that you like that you didn't know that the Trap Marketplace has for you. So it's a community business, even though it's online. It's a Trap online store, but it still positively, economically impacts the city of Pontiac, Oakland County, and our people as a whole when we support each other under that Asiatic policy. So moving right along, we also have on the list Alkaline King water distribution and education service. So you can learn all about our alkaline products, from the water to the plant-based herbs, as far as healing herbs, and everything that we encompass around the term alkaline. But it's the water distribution and educational service. Make sure y'all support that at msta13gov.com. It's very important. Why? Because the water comes from a Pontiac native, Pontiac citizen. It's been sitting here for decades. Artesian, alkaline, natural spring water with an 8.3 pH balance, and we're supplied by White Cloud. And White Cloud has been in Pontiac for 20 plus some odd years. And it's unfortunate that the old vanguards did not highlight this positive in our community, this natural resource that exists in our community by our community. And so there's no greater level of love to exhibit other than to support not only your family and neighboring members of the community, but to invest into a product that helps you, that makes you a better version of you. So hit us up at Alkaline King Water Distribution and Educational Services. You can do that at msta13gov.com. As soon as you go there, you will see an opportunity to support. Tax Trust, moving right along. Tax Trust LLC is a tax preparation service provider that's here to service the community, the members of our community and the greater community, the general public. At Tax Trust LLC, you can find us at 53.5 West Huron Street, 215, Pontiac, Michigan, 48342, or you can go to msta13gov.com and you can set up an online appointment from there. You don't have to come in person, but if it's a matter of security for you, it makes you feel comfortable, you can make an appointment to come on in and receive the tax services to help you with your income taxes. Make sure you get the max return back. Make sure we clear up any discrepancies that may have been pending from the prior year from dealing with whoever you dealt with. It's a lot of misinformation around how to properly do taxes, a lot of mistrust. That's why we birthed the name Tax Trust. You can trust us here to do your taxes. Our core principles is love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. We take no unfair advantage over our customers and over our people. This is not some regime that's full of tyrants. We actually came in to get rid of the tyrants. And so you're dealing with Tax Trust LLC. You can find more information about that online at msta13gov.com. You're able to make online appointments. You're able to come in person, make an appointment. Make sure y'all hit us up at msta13gov.com. On there, you can see Right Biggest Day Tax Trust LLC and how to receive those services. And so I think I talked about the Oakland Youth Development Coalition. So you can go online basically to msta13gov.com, find more information about our Ministry of Youth Development, our partnership with Oakland Youth Development Coalition. This is simple. Our youth is suffering from this pandemic. You're talking about their whole way of life has been changed. It's less activities. And so we've been able to create this venue and platform for us to work with other organizations and to mitigate activities in the crisis. So our children still supposed to be able to get everything that they're supposed to get in reference to their development, their cognitive development, their spiritual development, their physical development, the enrichment of our young men and women, and not hearing all this, the school is shut down, this is shut down. We're not shut down. Let's make this clear. Let me make this clear. We are not shut down. We're fully functional, fully operational, and fully ready to go to serve our people, period. And so it takes finances to uplift the nation. So obviously we got the general public to say, hey, support us. We got a GoFundMe page set up. If you like what we're doing, our great program of uplifting fallen humanity, here's an opportunity to say, hey, I support you by donating $1 to the Oakland Youth Development Coalition. So we want to bring some spotlight out there. Hey, if your organization wants to partner with Oakland Youth Coalition and the Moorish, this is the opportunity to do so. So you can also reach out to us at msta13gov.com. Y'all go there, y'all share, y'all advertise there. We're here to support you. We're giving a special out, 30 days free front page advertisement. Give me your logo, give me your face shot, tell me what your business is about, and we'll make sure we market your business 30 days for free, where we got multiple thousands of people, consecutive thousands of people visiting our website right now. L Enterprise. I wanted to make sure that we highlight L Enterprise LLC in Pontiac, Oakland County, Michigan, downtown, right here, downtown Oakland County. And so what L Enterprise is and does offer the following services: business development and consulting services, marketing and management services, which includes development of LLCs, trusts, and other legal entities, creation, bank account setup, business bank account setup. You got business that also include, I have been hearing a lot of people talk about business plans. We helped a young lady a few months back. We provided her Sister Cornisha Manley. We helped to construct a business plan for her, and she received $10,000 the moment that I sent it over. So we also provide business plan services. You guys need nonprofit setup, make sure y'all call us for that as well. We got staff that's ready to go to help facilitate the nonprofit seekers that's looking for a 501c3. We're not a 501c3 because we don't have to be. But if those who are seeking to get their nonprofit set up under 501c3, we also offer those services as well. Credit repair, credit restoration, credit building program. We have that services here as well. Also, we have partnered up with other L Enterprise and other has partnered up with other institutions to provide the whole financial literacy educational program. So for those seeking the youth, adults that's seeking financial literacy, hit us up at msta13gov.com. And so that concludes. I think I've touched on all of our. Oh no, I didn't. Carl Cargos. You can reach them at 248-875-9138, or you can simply go to msta13gov.com. Go directly to our Divine Ministry of Economic Development and Market Research page. You can find a directory of our businesses within our community, and you will find Carl Cargos, which is a junk removal. They do the junk removal, the moving people from A to B. They got rental dumpsters, and so we can service you when it comes to that. So make sure y'all check out Carl Cargos junk removal services at 248-875-9138. You can also reach Carl Cargos at carlbycargo@gmail.com. That's carlbycargo@gmail.com. So make sure y'all go in there and support these Moorish businesses and these different programs that's allowed us to do what we've been doing, building the nation, protecting our community, and making it better for all. And so that concludes our sponsors this morning, our announcements as it relates to being able to support local businesses, Moorish businesses in the community, the city of Pontiac, Michigan, Oakland County. It includes everybody. When we win, everybody wins. And that's just the facts. If you look at our resume for the last, umpteenth years, when we're winning, everybody's winning. When we're in position, everybody's in position. Our community wins, hands down. You look at what we did for the city of Pontiac in a bankruptcy. The minute we came in, all of a sudden, all of this stuff started to exist again. If you look at what we did for the schools of the city of Pontiac, I mean, these schools are on the verge of shutting down. They couldn't keep a roof up. We delivered $100 million. That was Moorish activity. We care, right? When you look at what we was able to accomplish at Sky's the Limit, at Pontiac Elite, at the family, right? Everybody know about the family. What we was able to do with our young children from Detroit and our young children from Oakland County, Pontiac. These Moorish children, we was able to take children all around the world, all around the country. And for, 10 months at a time, for our children to gain an experience of a lifetime that most adults that I'm centered around have not experienced. So that's amazing to been a part of that. I'm so grateful for Allah's guidance on that one. And so when we win, you win. Just the bottom line. That's how we built. And so now I'm able to go into the reading. And so Jesus attends a feast in Bahar, and here he taught human equality. So I'm gonna just go right into it. They say the fame of Jesus as a teacher spread through all the land, and people came from near and far to hear his words of truth. At Bahar, on the sacred river of the Brahms, he taught for many days. And Ak, a wealthy man of Bahar, made a feast in honor of his guest, and he invited everyone to come. And many came, among them thieves, extortioners, and courtesans. And Jesus sat with them and taught. But they who followed him were much aggrieved because he sat with thieves and courtesans. And they upbraided him. They said, Rabboni, master of the wise, this day will be an evil day for you. The news was spread that you consort with courtesans, and men will shun you as they shun an ass. And Jesus answered them and said, a master never screens himself, for the sake of reputation or fame. These are but worthless babbles of the day. They arise and sink like empty bottles on a stream. They are illusions and will pass away. They are the indices to what the thoughtless think. They are the noise that people make, and shallow men judge merit by the noise. Allah and all master men judge men by what they are and not by what they seem to be, not by their reputation and their fame. These courtesies and these are children of my Father Allah. Their souls are just as precious in his sight as yours, or of the brilliant priest. And they are working out the same life sums that you have solved. You men who look at them with scorn. And some of them have solved much harder sums than you have solved. You men who look at them with scorn. Yes, they are sinners and confess their guilt, while you are guilty, but are shrewd enough to have a polished coat to cover up your guilt. Suppose you men who scorn the courtesans, these drunkards and these thieves, who know that you are pure in heart and life, that you are better far than they, stand forth that men may come know who you are. The sin, so I want to go back and read it again. That was very powerful to me. All of it is. But it was a highlight moment. He said, yes, they are sinners and confess their guilt, while you are guilty, but are shrewd enough to have a polished coat to cover up your guilt. Suppose you men who scorn the courtesans, these drunkards and these thieves, who know that you are pure in heart and life, that you are better far than they, stand forth that men may know just who you are. The sin lies in the wish, in the desire, not in the act. You covet other people's wealth, you look at charming forms, and deep within your heart, you lust for them. Deceit you practice every day and wish for gold, for honor, and for fame, just for your selfish selves. The man who covets is a thief, and she who lusts is a courtesan. You who are none of these, speak out. Nobody spoke. The accusers held their peace, and Jesus said, the proof this day is all against those who have accused. The pure in heart does not accuse. The vile in heart who wants to cover up their guilt with holy smoke of piety are ever lofting drunkards, thieves, and courtesans. This lofting, he said, this lofting and this scorn is mockery. For if the tensile coat of reputation could be torn away, the loud professor would be found to reveal in his lust, deceit, and many forms of secret sin. The man who spends his time in pulling other people's weeds can have no time to pull his own. And all the choicest flower of life will soon be choked and die, and nothing will remain but darnel, thistles, and birds. And Jesus spoke a parable. He said, behold, behold, a farmer had great fields of ripened grains. And when he looked, he saw that blades of many stalks of wheat were bent and broken down. And when he sent his reapers forth, he said, we will not save the stalks of wheat that have broken blades. Go forth and cut and burn the stalks with broken blades. And after many days, he went to measure up his grain, but not a kernel could he find. And then he called the harvesters and said to them, where is my grain? They answered him and said, we did according to your word. We gathered up and burned the stalks with broken blades, and not a stalk was left to carry them to the barn. And Jesus said, if Allah saves only those who have no broken blades, who have been perfected in his sight, who will be saved? And the accusers hung their heads in shame, and Jesus went his way. So let's look at it, and that is what it is. So when you talk about Jesus attends a feast in Bahar, and he teaches the people about human equality. And so moving forth into this Moorish New Year, I think all of us, with every fabric of our strength that we have, to fight and defend human equality. Real talk. I think that's just, at the end of the day, that's just universal law. And, you know, if it's not based in human equality, what is it based in? We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men are created free and equal. And so that's what our Constitution, our divine Constitution and bylaws of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and our American Constitution, and the American Constitution, for all that wants to come to America, for all that wants to be a part of the dream, be a part of the royalness, the divinity here at North America. And it might not seem like it because our past is so conflicted with pain and torture and torment and deceit and just wrongdoing. And so it's hard for people to embrace that at one point in time, America was divine. And at this point in time, America is still divine, because once these principles are violated, love, truth, peace, and freedom, justice then must take its course. And there's no such thing as injustice. Justice must take its course. And we are justice. It is our job to administrate justice. It's our job to administrate the science of fairness. It's our job to protect peace, because we are peace. We are for peace and not destruction. The peace come from us. This is Moroccan Empire. This is Moabite dominion, North, South, Central America, to join the islands, Mexico, Europe, Asia, the holy lands of Canaan, without a shadow of a doubt. That's why the discovery of self and knowing your origin is really beyond. I can't even describe to you the feeling and the immense amount of power and authority. And now, you know, you wake up, and we got to wake up to the fact that we got to treat not only ourselves, but our family and our neighbors better on the principle of equality. That's justice, that's peace, that's balance, that's harmony, that's love, that's law, that's Islam, that's the unity, that's the uniting of Islamism, that's the uniting of the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. That's the uniting of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's the uniting of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And that's the uniting of Brother Il. My mission has been simple. It's just been very simple: to unite, to do my best to be the great unifier, to unify with the peoples, with our peoples, and with the peoples of the planet, under love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And so, hey, listen, I want to say thank you. Obviously, I will pass my time. And for you all who know me, y'all know that I'm long-winded and I have a lot in my mind to share with you. And love, though, nothing negative. I'm not telling you to go out here and jump on somebody. I'm not telling you to go out here and go blow yourself up. I'm telling you to better yourself and to better your people around you. So let's do it together, and let's remember this lesson for the day: human equality. And make sure y'all join us tonight, 7:30. Principles. Praise Allah. Praise Allah. I see you, brother. Terrence on here. Batiste. I want to say Islam Muslim. I appreciate you. Love to you. I love you. Love all my people. And y'all continue to, how did the Prophet begin to uplift the Moorish Americans? By teaching them to be themselves. And so be the best version of yourself. And don't be afraid to learn the process of becoming better. Because it might seem so hard because of your age and some of the things that you probably have been through and experienced in life, but the moment you set your mind to it, it's achievable. And that's just the bottom line. So let's change our mind about a lot of stuff. We can better ourselves. Don't be afraid to do that. And with that being said, Moorish, listen, join us tonight, 7:30 on Zoom or on YouTube at Prince Ravana Miles Ill or Brother Ill, Basha. Brother Ill was Brother Ill dash Basha. So we got two different YouTube pages you can subscribe to. Subscribe for as much as you was able, because it's massive amounts of content, so you can't lose. Check us out live for our Holy Day meeting. And you can also catch us on the live stream at msta13gov.com on The Great Meeting Is On. So you go to the website, go to The Great Meeting Is On, and you'll catch us on the live stream there as well. So Listen, thank y'all. Make sure y'all support us. Donate $1 today, right now. Our Cash App at $MSTA13, or go to our website and we got our GoFundMe stuff set up. We got our PayPal set up for you to support any function that you think is relevant and that you think is helpful. I love y'all. Love yourself. And we have to learn to love instead of hate. Peace. Happy Moorish New Year's.